Hi Yogis, Tony here. Welcome to this 30-minute yoga class. In today's class we shall go through the whole body. We won't emphasize any particular part, but we shall stretch all the tiny muscles and hopefully feel rejuvenated and joyous. Let's start with stretching the hamstrings. Take a wider straddle, wider than the hips, and exhale. Move your head down. Inhale, look up. Exhale, stretch out. If your hamstrings are still short, you can also use a block or bend the knees. Do not stretch out or lock up the knees. Work with the breath. Inhale, look up, hips down. Exhale, head down. Walk your legs and loosen up the shoulders. Next, interlace your fingers behind the neck and take your head towards the shins. Again, your goal here is to bring the stomach to your thighs. If that is not possible, you can also bend the knees. If you're doing the class in the morning, you might not be as warm as you'd like to, so be careful and patient with yourself. Look up and exhale, bring the nose to the shins. This is a wonderful neck stretch and loosens up the neck muscles. Now again, look to the right, look to the left, and bring the torso along with the head. And while doing that, bend the knees. Stay longer on the right hand side. Exhale. Turn to the right. Slow and gentle breath. Come to the middle. With the next inhalation, squat down and release your hands. Now from here we shall twist to the left. Look up to your left hand, your right hand touches the floor. If you can, bring the arms together. Your right hand grabs the left wrist. Look up and breathe gently and slowly. Exhale, release and come to the middle. You can bend your head over the floor and release the neck muscles here again. With the next inhalation, twist to the right, raise your right arm and place the left hand at the inner side, the shoulders touching the inner side of the left knee. Look up to your hand, to your right hand. If you can, wrap both arms around the body and grab your right wrists with your left hand. Elongate the spine and with the next exhalation, twist even more. Beautiful. Well done everyone. Release again the head, the forearms to the floor or to the blocks, and maybe the head as well, as close to the floor as possible. enjoy this hip stretch and stretch along the spine and the neck muscles. With the next inhalation, look up and slowly come to tabletop position. Let's take a few cat-cow stretches here. Inhale, look up, roll up your shoulders down. Exhale, round up. Inhale, look up, open up the chest. Exhale, neutral position. With the next exhalation, left arm and right leg up, open up the body. Exhale, bring them together in the middle. Inhale, open up the body. Exhale, knee touches the elbow. Let's repeat on the other side. Inhale, raise your right hand and left leg. Exhale to the middle. A wonderful balanced posture here, but also it also allows us to stretch and train the core muscles. Work with the breath. Exhale to the middle. Let's come again to the middle of our mat. Open up into half Vasisthasana. A wonderful stretch of the side body. Your left knees onto the floor. Open up. If you can, raise your right leg off the floor and look up. Make sure you open up the chest. From here, bend your right knee, and if you can, reach for the right foot. Exhale, bring back the leg and the hand, and while supporting yourself with your arms, let's go to the other side. Half Vasisthasana or supported Vasisthasana on the right side. Make sure your right shoulder is on top of your right wrist. Open up the chest, and now with the next inhalation, raise your left leg. Breathe here. Breathe through the challenge of holding the posture. Now bring the left leg to the back and bend the knee, and if you can, grab the shin or the foot with your left hand. With the next exhalation, slowly release. Well done, everyone. Let's take a breath. Come into child's pose and bring the forehead to the floor. Breathe slowly and gently. The breath is your best friend while practicing yoga. Relax your shoulders. With the next inhalation, support yourself with your arms and slowly come up into tabletop. Now from here, walk your hands towards the top of the mat. And depending on your shoulder flexibility, you may stay here or bring the forehead to the floor. Make sure that the hips are on top of the knees. If you cannot bring the forehead to the floor, just use a book or something high, a block, to support your head. If you want to go further, bring the chest to the floor. Make sure there is absolutely no strain in the neck area. The chin and the chest are onto the floor, on the floor. This is one of the best shoulder openings you can have. Inhale, bring the forehead to the floor and slowly walk the arms back to your body. Now let's release the tension in the hips, interlace your fingers, bring the heels of your feet together and start flapping the knees or the legs to the sides as a butterfly. The hip stretches or the ligaments can be the most stubborn in our body, and that is for a good reason. But if you want to release tension in the area, we need to make sure that the hips are really warm, and this is an exercise to do exactly that. Be gentle. Make sure your spine is erect, and in order to make sure that the spine is straight, you can straighten up your arms. Now bring the heel of the left foot closer to your bum and let's stretch the right leg as an arrow. Now from here, rocking baby. Place your right foot into your left elbow and hug your right knee with your right elbow. If you can, interlace the fingers, otherwise just hold the knee and the foot. We're working on the lower chakra, Muladhara chakra here, which is responsible for the rooting, for the stability in our lives. Make sure there is absolutely no strain in the lower back. See if you can touch the toe, your nose with the toes. And from here, try to bring the elbow or the shoulder at the inner side of your leg. Look to the left. Exhale, slowly release. Let's repeat on the other side. Bring the right foot closer to your body and try to loosen up the left hip as if your leg would be an arrow. And let's rock the baby here. If you're not yet very flexible, do not interlace the fingers, but I find it much easier to interlace the fingers. Again, make sure your spine is straight and there is absolutely no pain or strain. I can assure you, if you do these exercises regularly, your hips will be much more open, and in most of the poses there will be absolutely no difficulties. Be patient when you work in the hip area. With the next inhalation, bring your left hand at the inner side of your left leg and grab your left leg with your right hand. Look up, open up the shoulders and the right, and stretch the hamstrings of the left leg. Slowly return back to the original position. Now bring the knees on top of each other and make sure you open up the legs such that both the butt is onto the floor and the butt cheeks are not off the floor. Now if the left leg is on top of the right leg, bring if the right leg is on top of the left one, bring the other hand around on top of the other one. So in this case, the right leg is on top of the left one and the left arm is on top of the right one. Eagle pose, sitting eagle. Make sure you bring the shoulders down. And if you can, bring the forearms onto the floor. Again, a wonderful hip stretch and a shoulder stretch. Releases tension in the shoulder area and the neck area. Inhale, slowly come up and release the arms. Circle the shoulders. Release tension. Look to the sides. Now remain at the same position, but bring your left arm at the outside of the right leg. Your right arm is behind the back. Twist to the right. Breathe. Inhale, look back. And let's change the position of the legs. The left knee comes on top of the right knee. Make sure you open the feet as much as possible. You can also use a blanket or maybe a block. A block might be too high, but just adjust a pillow, a cushion, anything you have in order to support, to bring your butt higher. Bring your right hand on top of the left, or the right arm on top of the left one, and palms facing each other. Consciously concentrate on the area in the neck area and bring the shoulders down. Breathe. You're probably feeling lots of tension in the hip area, but this is a wonderful stretch. With the next exhalation, come forward and bring the forearms to the floor. Stay here for 2 more breaths. Inhale, come up and release the arms. Circle the shoulders. Raise your right arm and place it at the outside of the left leg, and bring your left arm behind the back. Twist to the left. Well done, everyone. Come to the front and slowly stretch out your legs in a seated straddle. Now flex your feet, and by supporting yourself, now blocks can be very, very useful here. Let's work with the breath first. Exhale, come to the front. Inhale up, stretch out the arms. Work in your own rhythm to loosen up the hamstrings. Move like a snake. Imagine the energy going up your spine from the Muladhara chakra. When the breath flows freely, it will be much easier for you the body will give in much quicker. See if you can adjust your legs. Inhale up, exhale. The body moves forward between the legs. Now walk your hands even further and see where your boundary is, and maybe you go just a tad further. You can rest your head onto your palms, or maybe the whole body comes forward. A cushion might be useful here, or a block to really rest the forehead. Stay with the breath. Slowly come up and walk your hands back. Now bend your left knee and bring the foot closer to the body. With a straight spine, bend to your right leg. Your right arm comes to the inside of your stretched out leg, and your left arm is either stretched out to the sky, and if you do not collapse the spine here, the chest stays open. You either grab the inside of your hip, of your right hip, or the right foot. Inhale and slowly release. Let's switch to the other side. Bring the right foot closer to your body and slowly sink to the left. Bring your left forearm to the floor. It tries to reach the left foot, and see if you can grab your toes, but make sure it's much better for your left arm to remain stretched out to the top, to the sky, instead of collapsing with your chest. Now you can, in order to make sure that the chest remains open, you really cherish the most out of the pose. See if you can grab the inner thigh with your right hand. Inhale, slowly come up. And bring the feet together. Now come slowly lie down onto your back. Bridge pose. The feet are hip distance apart. Slowly engage the core, engage your legs, and slowly bring the hips to the top. Walk your hands underneath your body and interlace the fingers. For a more passive stretch, you can also bring the elbows closer to each other and support the hips or the lower back with your hands. Release your arms and slowly bring the hips to the floor. Roll back, roll onto your right side and come into seated position. Now bring the sole of your left foot to the inner side of the right leg into 90-degree position. Inhale, bring the body forward. Your forehead touches the shin, the right shin. If you cannot bring the forehead or your stomach to the thigh, make sure your spine is erect and just stay where you have the maximum tension. Release and let's change legs. Inhale, straighten up the spine. Exhale to the front. You may interlace the fingers if you're flexible, otherwise stay where you are and just a tad more than where actually your boundary is. Inhale and slowly come up. Now legs together, Paschimottanasana. Inhale and slowly walk your hands towards your feet. If you're flexible, your stomach should touch the thighs. If not, as you slowly walk your hands towards the feet, again stay only at a position where your spine is actually remains straight. The goal here is not for the forehead to touch the shins, but for the stomach and for the spine, for the upper body to touch the legs first, and the head comes last. Do not overstretch and overstrain if the body is not ready. Inhale and slowly come up. Well done, everyone. Almost there. Come onto the floor and bring the feet closer to your bum. Interlace your fingers behind the head like a pillow and bring the knees to the right. Let the knees fall to the right, your head looks to the left. Stay here for 3 long breaths. This is a wonderful spine stretch. As you may know, all the nerves of our nervous system are, let's bring the knees to the other side and the head looks to the right. Our nervous system is being rejuvenated as we twist and turn in those spinal movements as all the nerves are situated along our spine. Breathe. By now your breath should be slow and should come easily and naturally. And let's release in Shavasana. Always take the time for the body, even if it's just a minute or two, but the longer you can stay in Shavasana, the better, as it will help you and the body integrate what just happened. As we move throughout the day, those islands of rest are super important. Make sure you allow yourself to take a break in whatever you do. Allow for the body, for the mind to relax and integrate. And maybe just become a bit more conscious about what's going on within us. Quite often we run throughout the day without really realizing what's happening and how certain situations affect our emotions. And we brush aside those emotions without paying attention. But the body and our nervous system, they store these emotions. And our goal in yoga is to really access these emotions and release them. Emotions, patterns, happenings, whatever we've taken which doesn't serve us. Whenever you're ready, you may stay longer here. And whenever you're ready, slowly roll onto your right side. Thank you ever so much for allowing me to take you through this class. Have a beautiful day, eat healthy, and stay joyful.
Before your life was so boring, I got up, went to work just to get back home and repeat. Before you, I just felt nothing.